Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Page of Swords podcast. This is episode 20 with my guest, Kendall Marchi, and she is my bikini competitor. You did 2 national shows last year, right?
Yep, my first 2 national shows.
Yeah, I want to talk about your show history right off the bat. So when did you start competing? Looks like 2018. I'm using the NPC website.
Yep, 2018 was my first year competing. I prepped for a grand total of 8 weeks for my first show and actually ended up winning all 3 of my classes and 2 titles. And then I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, I competed again. And I think I got first and second in that next show.
That's what I'm seeing. And you know what? I've been following you for a while. I just can't remember how long ago, but I do remember just loving your blonde hair with the black suit back then.
Oh, I was told it was so risky.
Yes, that's what I was going to get at. Because I think that's why, like, when I saw your stage pictures, like I said, I can't remember how long ago this was, but I do remember being like, wow, I love the bold black suit with blonde hair.
I actually got that from Hannah Ranfranz.
Yes.
She's a beauty pro that rocks a black suit with blonde hair. So she kind of gave me that confidence to rock that color.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was the judges' feedback with that? Did they say anything? Or
with the suit? No, they loved it. No issues. It tends to work best with blondes, I think.
Yeah.
Like bright blonde, not really like the natural blonde. More platinum with the black suit, I think.
Yeah, that black and white almost. And it looks like at least the one Kentucky show you did, it was like a pretty dark background too. So I'm glad it didn't get like lost or anything.
Yeah, at that point I was so new, I wasn't really aware of like looking up the backgrounds to judge what suit you should have on. So I'm glad it didn't cause any issues.
And you said you only prepped for 8 weeks. How much into fitness were you? You must have like some background or something like that.
So I started into fitness in college, but it was more of kind of a negative hobby for me. It was more about losing weight. I didn't know much. Never had a personal trainer, never had a coach. I thought about competing, but never really had the money or the time because of college. And I really just used the gym basically as a punishment. And I feel like that happens with a lot of females, young females in college and high school. I went from being slightly overweight in high school to being severely underweight in college. Just went through that whole away from family, away from friends, and your first year of college, it's tough making friends. So I just spent most of my time in the gym and ended up losing a lot of weight. But slowly after that, I started to really enjoy the way it looked on my body when I had muscle. But I didn't have any sort of guidance. So it was all self-educated, Googling. And then out of college, spent a couple years riding horses. So I've been riding horses since I was little. That's kind of where my base of fitness came from, is I stayed fairly fit riding 6 or 7 days a week. That's where I spent all of my time. And after college, didn't really have the time or the money to ride, but continued to do it with my work. So that kept me very, very fit. I actually broke yearling thoroughbreds for a couple of years and rode on the racetrack, so you have to be a certain weight. But basically went from horses to wanting to compete. So I had to kind of choose because it's the same amount of time and money for horses and competing. So I kind of stepped away from horses and then threw myself into competing. So it gave me a little bit of a base, but I never really did weightlifting like properly until I competed. But as you can tell from my first competition photos, I don't have a lot of muscle on that body. Not at all. It was more of a dieted down for 2 months kind of a thing. I had a good base, but it's not like you can kind of tell it wasn't a solid year of building muscle and focusing on that. And that's kind of my main feedback from my first show.
I mean, to me, you definitely have the bikini body. Like, you definitely fit in that category. You know, I'm just kind of bringing up a few from like your early shots, but you
Oh
definitely
God.
have the tiny waist.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Exactly, exactly. And even like your back pose, like to me, this is not a bad start. Maybe a little wide in the legs, but
Oh God, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, you know how it is when if you've seen other amateurs and stuff, like posing's like, you know, how much posing did you do for your first show? Like you're probably so new, right?
I had not a clue.
Mhm.
Not a clue. I watched YouTube videos, and I had a very good friend of mine who competes in pole fitness actually helped me
Okay.
learn how to walk in heels. I got a little bit better at is that the second show?
It is, or no, this might be your first
That's the
show
first one, yeah.
actually, which are actually both dark backdrops. I'm really
Yeah,
surprised.
that was my overall win.
Okay, and you've got like you had the conditioning, I'm sure. Like I don't know what the other competitors look like, but I think that's like a great start for any beginner is like at least come in with the conditioning if you don't
Mhm.
have the time to get the muscle on.
And I got a lot of props for my conditioning.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people will slate me for it or they'll get really mad at me, but conditioning doesn't come that hard for me.
Okay.
Like literally just if I'm consistent with my cardio, I'm not saying I do 10 minutes of cardio a day. Trust
Mhm.
me, I've been up there with the 90 minutes a day, 7 days a week kind of thing, but
Mhm.
it comes off. Like I have yet to run into an issue of my conditioning not happening.
Mhm. Yeah, and with how much, I'm sure for how long you've been on the horses and everything, like I'm sure your body has just adapted, and maybe it's a little bit of genetics too if you come from like a family where you guys probably all have strong metabolisms, and that's just how it goes sometimes. And I feel like for bikini, like that, those are the girls that really stand out is when they bring the conditioning and you just keep building a little bit more muscle on every year and just create like a shape.
Yep.
Mhm. And so, you know what, real quick, I wanted to say, because you said about your posing coach was a pole instructor. So is my first posing coach. So
Oh, that's
don't
so
get,
cool.
yeah, my first posing coach, she has her own like pool fitness
Yeah.
studio and everything. So yeah,
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 my friend
I was
competes
the
in the
same.
Arnold, and she's been like a champion of the Arnold amateur
Oh,
at pole.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's just funny how that works out. Because yeah,
they definitely give you confidence, is what I will say. She taught me confidence, which is on the utmost. Like you can pose super well, but if you don't pose with confidence, then you might as well just not pose at all.
you're right. And along, because you're right with the heels and everything, because like they're in like 10-inch heels or whatever, and I'm telling you, like they got it. And when then you get comfortable and you're practicing your little like S walk and
Yep.
showing off a little Beyonce side of yourself, like, because that's the thing, like, because that coach that I'm talking about, she actually competed in OCB, which
Oh,
is completely like different posing than the
they
NP.
have the T walk.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
T-Walk. So like I always felt like she definitely did a good job for her first posing and everything, but then you start to it's just different. It's not the
Mhm.
NPC. So yeah, you're right. The confidence is everything.
And you can tell in my first stage shots, you can see the fear, I think. Just in like the posing, like, you know, that wide giraffe straddle that I did in
Mhm.
my back pose was out of fear of, I don't know if they can see my tie-in. So let me just bend over more, which we know now is the opposite of what they want. So posing
Exactly.
has changed dramatically in just the 3 years that I've been in the industry.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and you already had the conditioning, so it is one of those things where you just didn't think about it on stage. You didn't
Mhm.
realize like I'm already conditioned. My hamstrings are gonna show, but because I feel like they try to tell you not to be too much like leaning on your toes. You're probably like more
Mhm.
on the heel, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to go into the national shows that you did in 2019. So it's been a year since you last competed, huh?
It has, yeah. COVID kind of really screwed me this year. But it's a blessing in disguise, I definitely think.
Yeah, I would have to agree for myself also. Did you have a show in mind and didn't happen?
Yes. So my plan for 2020 was to hit as many national shows as I could between the spring and the summer.
Okay.
That's my season is spring to summer, and then in the fall and winter I don't compete. That's just a agreement between my husband and my family and I, just to keep the balance, which has worked out really well. But I was going to hit all the national shows that I could between, I think they started in April or May.
I forget what the very first one was, if it ended up still being the junior or not.
I don't even know. This year has been such a crapshoot. But it normally would have been, I think, Junior USA's in Charleston. Then it would have been Junior Nationals in Chicago, which were the first two that I did last year. Then it was going to be Universe. Then it was going to be the one in Vegas.
Yeah, that's going to be the USA's.
USA. So Universe, USA's, yeah.
I think that's next weekend.
So I was going to do those 4.
Okay.
And just hope and just keep showing up. That's all you got to do. When
was your prep supposed to start for that?
My preps, I did actually prep. I prepped from February 1st is normally my start.
Okay.
And I just keep going. And so I prepped until about May. And then I kind of, when I saw that my shows were going to not even be possible until October, I was just like, you know what, that's just too late for my family, for my home life. It's just, I mean, I stuck to it and I stayed healthy. I didn't go straight into an off season. I kind of eased out of it, just because summer,
right.
Tried to maintain a little bit of a leaner physique through the summer and continued home workouts. But when I saw in my check-ins in May, that was, I think, 5 weeks or so, I was doing home workouts. I just saw that my physique wasn't improving enough.
Okay.
And it wasn't good enough for me to step on stage.
Right. And we just talked about confidence is everything. So if you're not feeling that confidence,
there's no need for me to waste my time, my money, my health, my mental clarity on a body that I don't personally think is a first call out. Yeah. And to me, after 5-6 weeks of home workouts, and I know a lot of people got through it and look amazing this year. It's just, for me, it didn't work. And my mental kind of clarity towards my body at about 5 weeks into home workouts was, I look good, but I'm not progressing the way I needed to be.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared to step on stage not looking my best.
Right. And you know what, that in the end, because to be honest, like if you felt like you weren't up to par, like I even heard that they upcharged the prices and everything. So that's a lot of money to put in to national shows. And then, to get up on stage, and you're only up there once for nationals, right? You're up there for your class, which, how tall are you, by the way?
I am the national average, which means I get the biggest class groups. I've been measured between 5'3" and 5'5".
Okay.
Depending on the show, literally, I've been told all 3 of those measurements in 1 year.
You're just like, well, wherever they can stick me, because it looks like for both national shows, you were in class E. So, and I know how big the bikini classes are, because they literally probably have to do every height, because there's just so many in each class. And
so many.
Do you remember how many you had in a class?
Oh, I really don't. I want to say it's like 30 or 40 girls in those middle height classes.
Yep.
I mean, it's insane. It's like an army of
It is. It's like 2 layers of girls on the diagonal.
Yeah, it's insane. And we all smell terrible.
And then everybody wants notice, so you're trying not to get, everybody.
There are some dirty looks backstage, and I swear it's worse in amateur because I think people are a lot less grown up. In nationals, we get a lot nicer, but there are still some girls who side-eye the shit out of you. And I'm like, girl, we're all here. We all made it. Like, let's just be fucking happy. I'm sorry.
But you're fine. You can swear. No, it's fine. This is the shit. Like, I I know, because everybody wants to be like, oh, everybody gets along. And I'm like,
I
oh,
mean, we
come
are
on.
deprived of everything, and it's between you are standing next to a girl and you are in the way of her walking across stage and eating a cookie.
Right.
Like,
Oh, dude, girls love to talk about food backstage. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like the whole time it's like they want to talk about that slice of pizza afterwards. And I'm not that kind of girl. So to me, like I understand, but I just roll my eyes. I'm just like, really?
I was all about it my first year because like Instagram tells you post, show, feed, like who cares?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just 2 years ago, you know, people thought like you have to indulge. Oh great, it's snowing again. You have to indulge. And so I kind of fell into that trap. But by my second year, I was like, I don't even care what I eat after. Like,
Right.
who cares? Like, food is always going to be there.
Right.
It's not going away. You can always order pizza. So, like, obviously, I do have a slice of pizza after my show, but not nearly do I indulge the way I did after my first show. I think a lot of us make that mistake, usually our first show.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. I think we all have to go through it. I feel like you have to go through that stage where you get sick and want to throw up, and then you learn, don't do this again. It's not worth it. And then I feel like once you get to the national shows and stuff, like you're looking around and like, these are like top-notch girls. Like,
Everybody looks good.
right. And I know that one girl who just won Universe, I think it was. She just like for bikini, she won the overall. Did her first pro show yesterday and won. Isn't that like? And she looks great. Like she stood out. I mean, she was pretty tall and everything, but she
Very
definitely
tall.
had the look.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I don't know. I have so many mixed feelings about the girls that I see. They win their amateur show, they win their pro card the next show, and then they step on stage and they get like first call outs. I'm like, holy crap, that's fantastic for you. But I also know girls that have waited 7 to 10 years to get onto a national stage first call outs. And like my heart goes out to both of them. Like, hell yeah, great for you. That's amazing. Like, obviously well deserved. The judges know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the girls who have been going and going and going, once they finally get that pro card, it's almost that much sweeter, I think.
Yeah, you got to earn it. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what they say about how the rich kids, they get handed out stuff and they get it easy, but then the people that got to struggle, got to work a little harder, and they developed a little different. It's kind of the same concept. Like we all are going to have a different journey, and the girls that are just going from show, hey, it's going to happen. They could have been at the right place at the right time.
That's why you can never stop showing up. Just get on, like, you gotta be there to win. You can't win if you're not there.
You got to enjoy it all, because I know for a fact, like, I know a lot of girls that are into the pro card goal. Like, that's great. I mean, great. But I'm always like, if I rush too soon, then I'm right back down at the totem pole, because I'm in figures. So I'm like, those girls are getting big. So
I mean, every year, even bikini is getting bigger.
Yes,
every year.
and bikini. Yes. And but I love the look. I really do. I love the muscular bikini look. Like, obviously you bikini girls don't want to get too hard, because I have seen that where I'm like, wow, that girl looks so good, but she's just too hard.
Yeah. I say the biggest difference in just shape and visually between figure and bikini, especially at the pro level, is figure has all those striations and separations in your legs, and they don't want to see any of that in bikini.
No.
Even if you have it, you hide that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like the one thing with bikini girls that I haven't quite mastered is trying to figure out what the judges really like in the hamstring department. And then, like, I understand there's a lot of girls that are always like, we want fuller glutes. But then, like, how much of the lines do you want from the glute into the hamstring? Because I've seen some that it's like very defined, but then I don't think those ones get as rewarded as well.
My first year, all I remember hearing about is you must have a tie-in. You must have a tie-in. And of course, my first year I had to Google what the hell a tie-in was. And then by this year, it was literally like, we don't even want to see your hamstrings. We just want some big ass butts. So it's just like, it's insane. You have to keep up with what they want, you
And
know?
it's like the upper butt. It's just like a lot of girls are like, what do you mean like a full butt? And then it's like, well, you ladies already do a lot of cardio, so you're going to lose a lot of
Yeah.
shape with cardio. I mean, figure girls are the same. And then you guys really have to keep that nice upper butt shelf.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. There's so many parts of your butt you have to focus on to make a round booty. But yeah, it's more, I've seen, especially in the last few pros, or the girls that have gone pro, they have a lot more muscle on the upper part than they do on the lower part. So it's moving farther away from hamstring focus to literally, who cares about the other parts of your leg? Just do butt.
Just do the butt. And then with wellness too, I feel like that's probably going to make a little bit more into this division where it's like, all right, wellness needs to have the lines and the legs a little bit more thick, where bikini's going to be about the butt. Well, they have to have butt in both, but
yeah, wellness is cool. I'm here for the wellness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my head around the whole, every other division is all about balance, 50-50, the X. And then with wellness, it's about like 30-70.
Yeah, I agree, because you definitely still gotta have the shoulders, but
What, a bikini upper body and then like a figure lower body is what they're looking for.
right, yeah. But then it's like bikini posing.
Right?
What's that again?
I guess like if you think about it, it's not technically balanced, even though all other divisions of bodybuilding is about balancing out your body. But with wellness, they actually don't want you to be balanced. They want you to look and fit the mold of a half bikini, half figure girl.
Very lower body dominant. Like, I mean, you can tell right away a bikini girl's leg from a wellness leg. Because that's why I'm like really interested to see the wellness keep growing, because the girls that win that actually have the wellness look, they stand out. They blow everyone out of the water, because you got to have these like massive soccer girl legs.
Those South American girls, man.
I'm like, girl, I love the look. I mean, but I feel like if you're doing those like 3-4 leg days a week, you got to be like really cranking them out on reps or crying or something.
Yeah. I mean, but a lot of those South American girls are that's just like genetics. Like that's how their structure of their body was built before they even started putting muscle onto their body. And then like America, we're a little bit behind. Obviously they've been doing wellness for many years. Our girls are trying to catch up, because they have just they've spent all these years bodybuilding trying to fit themselves into other categories. And now they finally get to just allow their body to do what it wants. So I think it'll take a couple years, but we're going to see some epic American girls going pro.
I agree. Yeah. And it was interesting to get your perspective on wellness and bikini, because I don't think I've had quite a few wellness girls on. I haven't had too many bikini girls. So it was interesting what you thought of the differences and everything. So another thing about the national shows was you switched your suit to green.
Yes, I ended up selling that little black suit. I didn't think I would do it. I wanted more sparkle.
Hey, I'm a big fan for green. I've always had green in my suits, so I get it. And feedback good with that suit also?
Feedback was amazing. Absolutely loved my suit. Said it suited me very well from hair. My eyes are green. Not that you can really tell because of all the makeup on my face.
Eyelashes.
I know, you like literally, if you look at my national photos, you can't even see my eyeballs. Like it's just lashes because of the lights coming down. It's lashes and shadow. But they did love the suit. It's actually a CJ's Elite suit. Fit me like a glove. I actually rented it from Center Stage Rentals and loved it.
Very pretty.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It suited me pretty well. I love looking at these photos. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry if I've noticed, like, I try my best to pick like the most flattering ones, but they're so little on here. You're just kind of like clicking away. I'm listening to you. I just was like looking too.
No, you're good.
I also noticed, so this was, which one was this? This is junior nationals.
Yeah, that was my last show.
Okay.
So that was not my first national show. That was my second.
Okay. This is your first one here.
Yeah, I love this look.
So I also noticed when you did the national shows, you decided to curl your hair and then you had it straight before. So what made you want to try that? Was it good? Was it bad? What do you think?
So those are extensions.
Okay.
The first show I ever did, my hair is freshly chopped off. Unfortunately, my lady cut it off the day before my show. I cried about it. There's nothing I could do. By this season, I got extensions. Mm-hmm. I did a starter show just to try them. My hair girl bailed on me last minute, so I didn't know how to put them in. She was also my makeup girl, so I had to do my own hair and my own makeup 10 minutes before stage in the bathroom by myself. Freaking out. Yeah, that. This one is not my finest hour.
What a way to kick off the season. But
yeah.
I bet it calmed your nerves for the rest of the season.
I mean, if I could get through that shitstorm, I can do anything. Like, I had to put my own extensions in and do my own makeup, and I didn't know how to do extensions. And it didn't look good straight. It just looked kind of messy from the back. Mm-hmm. And I did the best I could, but the judges did suggest that I do curl my hair. So I curled it for my next show, which was the first national show, Junior USA's. Mm-hmm. And it, to be honest, was the best look I've ever come in. This is my favorite look to this day, even though I think I got 8th place. So
yes,
second
you got, yep.
My goal was top 10. So I was bawling, crying out of happiness. And I just love this look, top to bottom, makeup, hair, suit, stage presence. The only thing they told me, I would have been top call outs if I wouldn't have been, it was my back pose. I bent over too much. I got insecure. I got insecure on the national stage, mm-hmm. and I just bent over too much. And Sandy's like, you definitely would have been first call outs if you were just fix that back pose. So literally that's what I did. And by my second national show, there's my first call outs. Mm-hmm.
No, and that's good that you bring that up because posing is so important. And I feel like as soon as you turn away from the judges and you're saying that was the pose that you struggled with, it's like sometimes you have to keep practicing to don't shut off. Because even when you're not looking, I feel like your nerves probably start to go a little bit.
I don't know about you, but I black out when I'm on stage.
It's like such a blur. I know I'm so focused on because my lip twitches and I'll be like, can everybody see my lip twitch? It scares me so much.
That's funny. I mean, I don't know about you, but in your first show, did your butt shake in your back pose?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it did because I started in bikini and I remember just like the little nerve because you're dehydrated and everything, and you're just like, what are these muscle twitchings right now?
Yep. And you don't expect that you have to flex for that long. Nobody tells you how long you're posing. Right. You think that you just have the 20 seconds, but when you're in those comparisons, and if they can't make up their mind, you are on for 10 minutes under stage lights, no water, just trying to smile through the pain.
You're like, just keep this going because stage time does go quick. But yeah, flexing is a lot harder than it looks.
Some of those comparisons, man, and if you're on the sidelines and they have you stacked up, you could be there for a long time.
And you are super twisted and you are trying not to cramp out an oblique.
Yep. And you're trying to elbow your way in front of the other girl.
Oh, yes. That. So I am curious. I had a listener question that was, what's your favorite part about being in the bikini division?
Ooh, I think what bikini gets to have that no other division gets to have is attitude and sass. And you get to make that routine. I mean, I could be totally wrong because I'm not in figure, but when I watch figure and wellness and I guess women's physique, you guys get to have music and stuff. That's cool. But we get to throw in some freaking attitude and it goes into our judgment. Like we're judged on overall stage presence. It's a beauty contest.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Down, like, I mean, they're judging my hair and my makeup and my skin, and confidence is a huge part of that. And I think it's cool that you can kind of make your routine a little bit more you, when I feel like other divisions, it's very, here's your pose, that's it. Here's your pose, that's it. You know?
Yeah, it is. It's very fun for you girls, a little bit more of the hair flip. And I think it helps because you guys don't have to move your hair for your back pose.
They don't want us to.
No, just let it go and you can focus on a little bit more sass. Cause in figure, I mean, I have to move my hair. So you're like, all right, move the hair, then the flex, and then.
You have to do it when you step, right? Like it all has to be in a motion.
Right. And you have to like, not look awkward, but at least in bikini, like that hair flip, the hair flips just like.
Oh, it's like a bikini thing. Like if you can get your photographer to get a picture of you doing that, it's like the golden photo. And I've gotten it one time, and I adore that photo.
Yeah, no, that's
almost like give it a couple seconds and you're like, photographer, look at my hands, here I go, are you ready? Right. Boom.
You have to like kind of do I think they do like the shimmy. I see a little bit of that shimmy where they're like move a little bit and get it like pre-prepped.
The one thing I refuse to do is the shoulder bounce. I will not do the shoulder bounce, and then the little like sexual look at the judges.
Dude, amateurs, when they do it, it really freaks me out. It's like such cringeworthy. I've seen some really like, you can tell when girls go way over the top when they do that, and you're just like.
It was definitely an old school bikini posing videos that I saw. Because when I first started, like the crossed legs situation and the back pose, have you seen that?
Yeah, because OCB I think does that with bikini. Because I learned that one.
Cute.
Yeah, it's like because I remember my first posing coach that we were talking about, she used to hate the NPC way with the legs across. She always thought that was so slutty. And she was all about that leg cross. And like, it was like one of those things, it was like a mermaid pose is what I think we call it. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And it's like funny to think, because you're just like, wow, I can't even imagine an NPC girl going up there and doing that pose.
Mm-hmm.
So who is your bikini idol? I know you talked about Hannah. Is there someone that's like?
I do love Hannah. I mean, it's probably everybody's, but Isa.
Yeah. Gotta love the Olympia.
The O winner from last year. Obviously, she's like the epitome of perfect bikini goals and everything.
Tiny. So tiny.
I don't know. The girl eats lettuce. I know that. So I need to eat more lettuce. I don't know.
I've seen that she wears a waist trainer a lot, like all day. So, I mean, I'm not that extreme, but.
Ooh. I have one,
but
I wear it. I have yet to use it for prep because I was using it this year. Mm-hmm. But I would be lying if I said that her wearing it didn't make me want to have one.
Hey, I mean, that's the thing. Like, and it's very 50-50. I've seen, like, I know Laura Lee. I love Laura Lee, and she openly says that she doesn't use one. So I can understand that there's going to be some Olympia girls that wear them and some that don't.
But some people don't need them. I know a handful of girls that are boxy. Like, you can get your waist as tiny as you want from looking at the side, but head on, they are as wide as their shoulders. Like their waist just doesn't taper. Girls like that might benefit from using a waist trainer here and there. Mm-hmm. I don't really know if there's enough research behind it that it actually changes, because it's like you're not really able to change your body structure, mm-hmm. like your bone structure. Right. At that point, it's more about posing properly.
Very important, the posing, because it can make or break you, that's for sure.
But the waist trainers, I get benefit from them because I have severe back pain.
Okay.
So it really helps me sit up.
Yeah.
And so when I wear it during the day, it reminds me of my just mm-hmm. sitting up, and I will wear it when I lift just upper body. Mm-hmm. And it just gives me a little bit extra. I have a really well-developed core. So I don't really need to focus on my core being engaged. I don't really need any more thickness to my core. So having a waist trainer and being able to turn off my core, but also have the structure to help me lift heavier, it's great for me.
Yeah, and I think it helps with the breathing too. Like when you're on stage and you're posing and you want to breathe out your diaphragm, because don't let that belly go. You know what I mean? That's for any division.
I'm very proud of the way that my ribs, not ribs, but my vacuuming on stage. Very, very proud of that.
Good, good.
But yes, Issa would be my number one.
Okay.
There's, you know, and to be honest, any of the blonde pros really have my heart, because blondes seem to have such a hard time going pro.
Yeah, I would have to say I know quite a few. I know Ashlyn Brown, I think, is another blondie who she has struggled. She even said that the judges one time didn't place her in first because she was blonde. And I was like, that was rough.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I've considered going dark. This is just like my roots. So I just haven't done anything to my hair. But I probably will go platinum, because it's the look. Yeah. The judges know me, so.
That's right. Keep it going. It looks, you've been able to do it well. And like you said, like Hannah, I like Hannah's look too, and she rocks that just as well. You think you'll get another new color suit? You're going to keep green?
I considered purple this year.
Yeah.
I'm not a red person. I think it takes some dark hair to pull off red. Handful of blondes can do it, but I think it looks best on really, really black hair. But green seems to suit me. I'm trying to avoid the whole, oh, it's just another blonde in a blue suit.
Dude, a lot of bikini girls do the blue. I think ever since like Angelica was like blue and purple, Laura Lee's like blue and purple or whatever that shade is. And it's just like, I've seen shows where it's like all the winners in bikini are wearing blue.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley Kay really kind of threw the green in there.
Yeah, she did. And then she went the red.
Yeah. Did you see her? Do you know she used to be blonde, right?
Oh yeah, like way back in the day. Yeah, I remember.
So she was platinum, and then she went dark, and now she's like, what, 18-time pro winner?
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to try, a wig might work.
It's been considered for an amateur show just to get some feedback.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be really cool. And then maybe you could try that red if you ever wanted to. So let's move on to the big topic that we were going to talk about. Your, the new boobs.
The new boobs, the new twins.
And I'm going to start out because you already told me you did not get these for competing. This was for you.
Nope, I got 150 million questions.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I get lots of judgment. Oh, she just got them for boobs. Oh, she thinks she's going to go pro just because she got her boobs done. Blah, blah, blah. No, I have wanted these for 12 years. Ever since I figured out that I was flat chested and my boobs weren't going anywhere and everyone else around me had boobies. And then I said I'd give it 10 years. If I still wanted them in 10 years, then I'd give it a couple years for me to be financially not let it affect me. They're not cheap. I mean, you don't get it covered by insurance. You can finance them. Super easy to finance them. I just didn't want to go that route. So yeah, I got them because, to be totally honest with you, I always felt like my body just wasn't growing. It hadn't grown enough. Like, I didn't feel like a woman. And I know that's very anti-feminist. You don't need boobs to feel like a woman. But for me personally, I felt like a whole body part was missing, and I never felt totally comfortable in my skin.
Yeah, and again, confidence. I mean, who doesn't love that confidence? I mean, it's a nice look. It's curvy. It's beautiful. I mean, I completely understand.
I was very off balance. I'm heavier on the bottom. Most women are. And I just had nothing to offset it. So anytime, especially in my off seasons when I gained more fat, most of my fat literally just was around my thighs and on my butt and around my hips. And I felt like if I had boobs, I wouldn't have felt so self-conscious about gaining weight in my lower body.
Mm-hmm. Now, just so for all the listeners, like you guys have to follow Kendall. What's your Instagram?
Kendall Fit.
Because you've done a great job at putting the highlights of your stories in your Instagram.
So since the beginning.
Yeah, you've posted a lot of questions in there, and I tried to think of a few. I was like watching a few to like refresh my memory, but I saw like the pre-op. Now, what were a few things that happened that you were like, no one tells you about this part?
No one tells you that if you have piercings, you need to take them out. I have had the same cartilage piercings in both of my ears for 15 years, same exact piercing, never touched it. Totally forget about it. And the nurse said 2 weeks previous to my my surgery time, she's like, if you show up with those, we will chop them off and your hole will probably close because cartilage will still close after 15 years. So I had to go and get them taken out professionally because I didn't want to deal with that. Yeah. And I had glass ones put in. Mm-hmm. So you can always replace them with glass or plastic, as long as it's just temporary. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then how long do you have to keep those out now that you are done with the procedure?
Oh, I put
oh, they're back in. Okay. Yes. Okay. I couldn't tell. They look like really thin in your ears there.
Yeah, super, super thin. I got new ones.
Okay. Well, that must have been a perk. You're like, new boobs, new earrings.
Yeah. I hadn't touched them for 15 years. They basically had dust on them. So,
girl, I've had this thing in my nose for a while and I don't know how to take it out either.
Oh, so they'll rip it out. She told me we'll rip it out if it doesn't cut it. Like they will get it out because apparently the cauterizing tools they use to either open you or close you, I don't really know, can send a burn through your body and burn wherever you have metal on. So
that's interesting. Yeah, it makes me think of like those like cancer things that they have to put you through. I don't know why I can't even think of the name, but you can't have like metal.
Yeah,
good for it. It's probably like I don't know what it is either. But anyway, so a question that I have is when you get your boobs done, I know you have to get like all new bras and everything. So how did you have to handle that?
So I was kind of freaking out about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to spend all this money on new bras.
Yeah.
But I had, tons of girls have been so open and sweet and answered all my questions, and that's why I'm doing the same thing. I know girls who have gotten over 1,000 cc's in each boob and still wear smalls and extra smalls in sports bras because of the stretchiness. Like I still can fit into all of my smalls. I would say I'll probably have to get rid of my like high neck ones that kind of come in because I'll have boobs coming out the sides.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only ones I won't be able to wear. But other than that, I do suggest, and I've mentioned this a few times, when they'll tell you to get zip up bras, open and closure front ones, because you can't lift your arms for the first 2 weeks. So I originally got mediums and larges. And after the first week, when the swelling goes down, you want more compression. So I actually had to order smalls. Okay. So I always suggest order all the sizes and just have one of each.
Is there a certain brand that you recommend that you've been like, this has been the most comfortable?
Amazons have been great. They're like, you get a 2-pack for $20 or something of different size zip ups. I've never had an issue. I heard the zip ups from Walmart are not good, that the zips come undone all the time. I really like the company True & Co. Super luxuriously soft, feels like a second skin. I get all of my name brand stuff on eBay and Poshmark. So
Poshmark's great.
I don't like to pay full price for anything.
Girl, I don't blame you. I mean, hell, I know so many girls, like even myself, I have nice bras. They just don't fit. My back got too wide with figure that I'm like, listen, I got a little boobs and wide back. I'm like, somebody on here's got some some bras that they grew out of for sure. Or even like you if you're going to start selling your small bras.
But the thing is you can't get properly sized for like about 6 months because your boobs continue to change. So they do a process of dropping and fluffing. So like right now they're very fake looking and feeling. They just kind of sit there. It looks like they were glued to my chest wall and they don't really move much. Once they start to fall into their capsule or into their place, they will look, feel, and move like real boobs. They'll also change size slightly. Some people go up a whole cup size.
Oh, interesting. And I think I saw on your Instagram, you said it takes like a whole year to kind of.
Your plastic surgeon will say they will change slowly over a whole year. After 12 months, you will be at your permanent look and size. I'm part of a Facebook group that's actually helped me so much called the Bust Mob, BUSTMOB. And it's 7,000 women who, anybody who's either just literally doing anything to their boobs, to their nipples, to anything boob related are in this group. And we just share freely. We ask questions, we give advice. It's amazing. And they told me they have changed all the way up to that 12-month mark.
Okay, yeah. I really do believe it with gravity and everything and just how the body probably adapts to it. I mean, I believe it for sure. Is there any tips that you have for before you go and get it done? Like, were you using any sort of like creams or preps or anything? Were you like keeping exercise to a minimum or were you going balls to the wall? Like, what were you doing?
So they do suggest, and they didn't suggest this. I actually got it from a friend who was a female bodybuilder like 20 years ago. She's a close friend of mine. And she told me that when she got hers done, she made the mistake of training upper body like within a week, like directly hitting her pec muscles. And when the surgeon went in there to try to cut open her pec muscle, it was way too tight. So he ended up having to put the implant over. So I was so afraid that was going to happen. I did not want over the muscle. So I didn't train upper body for at least a week, I think, before my surgery.
Okay. Well, good for bikini girls. I'm sure you guys don't have to do a whole lot of chest, maybe more shoulders than anything, but I'm sure you were like, I can handle the upper body.
Yep. My surgeon, when we were deciding on over or under the muscle, he has done a lot of bodybuilders before, mostly figure girls who do train chest. And he was worried. He's like, well, do you ever flex your chest muscles? And I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. So he was very delighted that in bikini, we don't, number one, have to hit direct chest muscles. And number two, we never have to directly flex them. And that's going to keep my implants from shifting. Every time you flex your pectoral muscle, the implant will move to the side. That's when you see a lot of those girls who have their implants really far apart. That's from them hitting their chest muscles with implants. And that the only way to fix that is through another surgery, unfortunately.
I've seen that in the bigger divisions, like the female bodybuilding, where it's just, because you know what, that's really interesting to say too, because I've had men who are, you know, they're just like, oh, a lot of bodybuilders, you know, have the fake boobs and I think it looks weird. And I'm like, well, to be honest, like when it comes to bodybuilding, having like that nice boobs, like most of these girls, you pretty much train them off. Like they're like the first to go. So kind of getting the fake boobs is just a nice way to kind of keep that feminine look for especially the bigger divisions where, you know, those women are probably super flat.
Like women's bodybuilding. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you're happy with them. What size did you end up going with?
So I did 440 cc's under the muscle. And I started with a negative A cup. I'm actually going to do a post about it soon, but I was actually shocked. I did my 30-day, I'm 31 days today. Yesterday, I did comparison photos, wore the same thing, same lighting. You know, we're really good at check-in photos. But my surgeon was very happy about my quality of photo taking.
Oh, good.
but I was blown away by my own just deflatedness previously compared to what I'm at now. Just totally over the moon. When I did that comparison, I was like, wow, like this is life-changing. Like bottom line, best decision of my adult life so far.
Yeah. I've never heard anybody regret their fake boobs. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've never heard it.
The only thing you'll hear is boob envy.
Yeah.
I definitely for about a week was very mad. I should have gone bigger. Should have gone really big. Should have gone into the 600s. Should have done this. Should have done that. And by the time I did that comparison photo, I was like, wow, you know what? These look fantastic for my figure. My surgeon gave me exactly what I asked for, which was I want to look balanced and I didn't want to look like a bimbo. And here last week, I was like, oh, I wish I looked like a bimbo.
Well, you're like, I just want more.
I just wanted more boobs.
And then in reality, it's like, okay, like, because I've seen some bikini girls where they are a little big and I'm just like, did she place high because the judges like it?
Oh yeah, I've seen some 800s to 1200 cc's per boob. And I tell you, some girls can rock it. Don't get me wrong. If I could rock 1200 cc's, maybe I would. But I think I'm pretty happy. I learned a little bit about an implant exchange if I was interested in it later.
Okay.
It's a little bit cheaper. You don't have to be under general anesthesia. So it's literally just slice, pull, pop, and you're done. Because your capsules are already made and your muscles already stretched. So it's a really easy procedure. So if I'm not happy after 2 years or so, I might consider it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. And plus, you know, it'll be fun to just rock them for a little bit, you know, seeing them on stage will probably be, to me, that would be pretty cool to see the difference of how you look on stage. I know, like we said, it's not for stage, but we're all going to be curious, like, you know, the difference of what it looks like on stage with the nice sparkly bikini.
Oh yeah. Cause I'm about 20 pounds over stage weight right now. So.
And you know that that's partially from the boobs, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The boobs weigh, because I wanted to make sure I knew this so I could subtract it from my weigh-ins and stuff. Because that doesn't count. That's not fat. That does not count.
Right.
It is a balloon and it is scar tissue that is not fat. So it's about 2 to 3 pounds by the end of my whole thing for both of them with their scar tissue capsule.
Oh, and who is your doctor? We'll give him a shout out.
Oh, he's amazing. So I'm here in Lexington, Kentucky. He has his practice at Callow Spa in Louisville. Okay. His name is Dr. Chet Mays, and he's incredible. He's very, very active on Instagram. Okay. Super, super awesome, super sweet. And I consulted with 5 different surgeons over the course of 6 months and consulted with 2 out of the 5 2 times. And start to finish, the way that they treated me at his clinic won me over. Yeah,
that's good. That's good to get taken care of. And you also want a good recovery. So I'm sure you're being on your best behavior so you can get into the gym whenever you're good to go.
I'll be cleared at hopefully 6 weeks. Okay. And then it's no upper body, I think, for 3 months. So 8 weeks, so another 2 weeks. And then it's very, very light. So obviously never hitting direct pectoral muscles ever again.
Yeah. And I'm sure that would go along with do you still ride horse and stuff? I'm sure that.
Yeah. So I won't ride horses again until probably the spring. Okay. As you can tell, I hate the snow and the cold. Yeah. So I'm what they call a fair weather rider. So I show up in the spring and summer, and then I leave in the fall. Yeah.
Because I would assume the momentum of everything on a horse too, you would want to be careful.
Yeah. I'd be very worried with how the implants would just like bump down. You don't want to you don't want to speed up the fluffing process. You want it to just naturally happen.
Plus you're like, I'm not like a runner or anything, so you don't have to worry about like the cardio.
Nope, I'm sitting on a bike right now, and that's good for me.
Yeah, and that's good. That's super good. And so now that we're coming to the end of the year, and when do you think you'll be trying to compete next spring?
I'd say so. I'm obviously going to listen to my body and its recovery more than anything. That's the important thing. The stage will always be there.
Definitely.
So if my body is not ready to do upper body workouts to where I'm building my bikini shoulders like they should be, because that's a huge factor, then I won't do it, and I'll wait another year because it takes a full year of recovery.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to take that full year if it means that my investment on my chest is going to be perfect. Then I will, like, I'm not willing to go back under the knife just yet. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't want to fuck this up.
For sure. And with COVID and everything, do you feel like this rest is going to actually be good for your body? I mean, I know you've been competing, for 2 years, it seems, but
2 years, and then like I prepped for half of my third year, but
true. But I feel like a lot of girls, they just do show after show, and I feel like you're like the one that's like, nope, I
have cut off. Like if I was primed and perfect, and no matter what, my cutoff is my birthday, which is the end of July. And that's just, I mean, it's nothing to do with the sport. I love the sport, but the sport is not my life. I know some girls, it is their entire life. If you're making all your money off of it, if it's your career, if it's your hobby, if it's like your significant other's hobby as well, I think that's huge. Good for you. That's amazing. I'm very happy for you. But for me, it's not. It is a hobby and a passion, and I am a personal trainer, but I'm a personal trainer for lifestyle clients. Okay. Competition is my hobby. It is not my life. It's very, very different. I get support, but I don't have any close friends here. My husband is not big into the gym, neither is my family. So I like to try to keep it separate because, people can have their eyes roll back in their head when you're talking about it. Like, I don't want to make people uncomfortable when I just want to talk about eating chicken and broccoli and doing 100 minutes of cardio a day. Like, some people just really don't care.
No, and you're right, especially with everything going on right now. I mean, what else is there? You're like, fitness is our life. It's not like you can talk about doing all kinds of other stuff. I know you have your horses and stuff too, but I mean, and that's good that you do that, because I feel like a lot of bodybuilders, you should have another outlet outside of bodybuilding, and it's good.
It shouldn't be your identity.
Exactly. And it's just a healthy relationship for mentally, for sure.
And that'll probably, and I'm well aware that kind of lifestyle that I have will maybe make it take longer for me to become a pro. And I understand that, and I am totally fine with that.
Yep, I'm in the same boat. We're doing this at our own pace, and I think that's great. That's why everybody's got their own little story, and it'll be so rewarding when we finally climb into our goals. I feel like the goals never stop, so you can never say when you finally reach your goal. No, the goals don't stop.
The judges change their mind every year.
Exactly, and girls come out of nowhere, and you're just like, well, gotta catch up.
It always throws me off when pros walk off stage with their pro card, and I look them up and they're like 100 followers. And I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from?
Right. Yeah. Or it's like, I know for figure, I've seen girls where like, they don't post anything, and it's like, they're super private. And I'm just like, oh, that's why you got to where you are. You were like shut off from the world, and you don't care about social media. And look, now you're a pro.
Yeah, I look forward to posting my stuff. It makes me want to do better, if that makes any sense. Like, oh shit, like all my followers are going to see my check-ins tomorrow because I told all my followers that I would post all my check-ins. I don't actually have to post them.
No.
But I told myself as an accountability thing, and that actually makes me be better.
Yeah, I agree. And I always like to pay it forward. I like it. I like seeing stuff like what you post. I like that you're accountable, and I'm like, oh, I want to be accountable, because what if my accountability helps the next person?
It's just not cool when there's negativity, though.
Yeah, but that happens. And I mean, I think I saw that you recently had to deal with already a negative comment, and you just kind of have to be like, my life, not yours.
It's so nice when I love when I hear men make comments about what I do and choose to do with my body. It's fantastic.
Oh, yes. And I can only imagine, like, I don't know if, as a bikini competitor, if anybody's ever like said you look manly, but bikini competitors are not manly.
I mean, I get it all the time from my photo shoots, because my photographers want to see your vascularity and your striations, and I can create that shit. Like if we get the right light, I can make myself vascular as hell. And, you know, if I'm lean enough, which I usually am for photo shoots, and I just don't carb load and I don't fill those muscle bodies, I can make myself look like a shredded little string bean. And I get shit for it all the time. All the time. Bring it on.
Yeah, I get that because I love that look. But again, I'm in fitness, but you know.
I love the look. I wish bikini was more striated and vascular because that's just cool.
I'm envious of the vascularity because I don't know what it is with me. Maybe I just haven't gotten like super grainy yet or anything, but I just don't get vascular like some girls do.
You might just not have fat veins. Some people don't have fat veins. Guess what? You can't change that.
Exactly. And that's perfect, right? Or that's right. You know, it's just how your genetics are sometimes. And I'm glad that this is really random, but I almost forgot. I did want to ask you what your birthday is, but you already said it. So you're a Leo.
July 24th. I am all Leo.
Oh, Leo. All about the flashy little, here I am. I love that.
I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but I'm mildly a Cancer. So I'm right on the borderline of being a Cancer. Yeah. So I think there's been an article out about technically, if you're within these dates, you're actually something different because of some Mayan calendar thing and whatever. I'm half a Cancer, so I definitely feel both.
Yeah, I definitely understand that because I'm not super invested into it, but the more that I get into it and learn, I'm just like, I feel like this is a personality cheat sheet.
It's a good way to, if you're dating, I'm married, but if you're dating, I feel like it's a good way to look up somebody's personality.
It is. It's a lot of fun too, the more you dig into it. But yeah, I was really curious because sometimes I feel like as a competitor, you can really see that side of a certain person, the way they, how they present.
You can see the struggle. If you're a more, reserved person, you have to bring out a Leo of yourself on stage, and that shit's hard.
It is. I mean, because to be honest with you, a lot of bodybuilders are introverts, and I mean, I'm very extrovert. I'm sure you seem like you're more on the extrovert side.
Definitely.
The introverts, they're the ones that are always in the gym working hard, and well, we all work hard.
The ones who don't post on Instagram. Yeah,
they're just working so hard, and then they get on heels, and those are the girls that usually don't know how to walk in heels.
Yeah.
They're shy.
They look fantastic.
But then that like posing and being in front of a judge, that's the part that scares the crap out of me.
You can pose yourself into first call outs. I guarantee.
Been there.
Someone can look better than you and have all the boxes ticked, but you can outpose them and do better than them. Guaranteed.
Right. I definitely agree. And you will get better the more shows you do. Get up on stage and just keep trying, because it's good like what you're doing. You're doing that first regional show and you're getting your feet wet. You're getting comfortable and getting the nerves out, and then you're hitting the show.
Always suggest a warm-up show. No matter how good you are, throw yourself into a warm-up show, because I did a warm-up show before my national stage. And I didn't do very well I mean, there might have been other things, but my posing was off. My hair was terrible. My makeup was terrible. I've never gotten judges to comment on my makeup, but I do my own makeup, and they're like, it needs to be more theatrical. Thank you. I'm not a makeup artist, but I tried. I couldn't walk out and be like, guys, be a little bit nicer on me. I did this myself. Now watch me go.
Yeah, right. Be like, this is the mask.
Highly, highly recommend always to do a warm-up show, especially if you're going to go into nationals. But like, I got 4th at my warm-up show. Yeah. But then I was top 10 at a national show, and then top 5 at my second national show. Yeah. So
do the show. Do it.
Do the show. Like, no shame in that 4th place, because I learned a lot, and that was just more experience.
I agree. I definitely agree. If you are ready, you can afford it. Get up on stage, see where you place, get the feedback, and plus you never know who you're going to stand next to. So maybe you'll impress yourself. You don't know.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Well, girl, I've had you on for an hour, I think, and I definitely could talk to you for a long time.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you have any more questions? I'm all ears. Like, I'm ready to keep talking.
I know. Well, I actually have to get myself back to work myself, or else I would be.
That's true.
But you know what? I would love to have you on again sometime. We can do another
Oh,
check-in
yeah.
at some point, and then meet up in the new year, and that would be great.
I'm happy to do it. My
Um,
first podcast interview, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to do another one.
Oh, girl, I'm so happy you could come on, and I know I probably sounded so random because, like I said, I've been following you, and I'm just like, hey, let me talk to you for an hour.
I think the random jump around conversations are the best.
I love to talk, so
Mm-hmm.
I told you I could talk.
Anytime, girl. I'd do it anytime again.
Well, I wish you luck. I'm going to wish you a happy holiday since we're already in December here. And I will have this uploaded either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll keep you updated.
I will be sure to link it all over my Instagram.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, have a good day and everything. I'll talk to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.